Hello everyone, I'm Chef Vlad, and I like to invite you to Cooking with Vlad. On today's episode, I will be breaking down how I make sushi and the things that I love about it. Alright, let's begin. If we're talking sushi, sushi rice is the most important ingredient. You want to use the highest quality, short grain rice. This brand, I'm going to put a link in the description below, but this brand is one of my favorites. I can barely pronounce it, but I'm going to butcher it. Kayagi. Okay, so this is a short grain rice. It has amazing texture, it cooks perfect every time, and each kernel is whole. Today I'll be talking about two methods of preparing the sushi rice. The one method is a 1 and 1 1/4 ratio, and you would take your rice and you would rinse it 6 times till the water runs clear. The second method is you would pre-soak your rice till all these kernels turn white. When rinsing your rice, you always want to have more water than rice so that the kernels don't break, and you just want to gently massage the kernels one to each other to release the starch, and your water will get cloudier and cloudier. Now once your water gets really cloudy, you will take out all the water and add more fresh water so this water looks clear. After rinsing out the water, I have left it to soak so that all the granules are completely white, and at this point this gives us a much more even cook because all the kernels are in the same state. So as we talked earlier, the two methods is either rinsing it out 6 times till the water runs clear, just like this, or this method which I'm using here, where I've rinsed it out and then I've soaked the kernels so that all the kernels are at the same hydrated level. This will give us a much more consistent yield and a much better texture. Now once we're at this state, we're ready to cook. You want to drain off as much water as possible to get the last of that starch out, and then have as much starch out of the rice as possible. This will give you individual kernels and a better texture. Now that we're ready to cook the rice, we're going to be using the rice cooker. You could also use a pot in a stove. Just make sure you keep a lid on it because you really want to capture that steam. So we take our container from the rice cooker, we take our drained rice, and we add it in here. So now we've loaded all our rice into the rice cooker pot. Shake it up, make sure that it's all flat in one layer, and you're ready to add your water at this point. Because in this video I'm demoing a full hydrated rice, there's going to be a very crucial moment about adding the water. So we add the water till it's just above the rice and all the kernels are covered. This will yield us the best textured rice. A quick tip, if you're using a not fully hydrated rice and you're doing the water, you want to have water coming up to your index finger to the first line. If you're using a full hydrated rice, you want it to have half that amount coming up from the rice. Now that we have our water, our rice, we put everything into the rice cooker, close the lid, and press white rice. Now that the rice has finished cooking, I highly recommend to give it 10 to 15 minutes on the keep warm setting, just to depressurize and have the rice fully absorb all the water that's in there so that each kernel is individual and has a nice bite to it. Now that we let it depressurize for 10 to 15 minutes in the rice cooker on the keep warm setting, we're ready to season it. We're going to season it with a seasoned rice vinegar. It's specially made for sushi. It already has the right amount of salt and sugar added to the rice vinegar. You want to use 1 ounce for each cup that is cooked. We cooked 4 cups in the rice cooker, and it will yield us 8 cups of cooked rice, and we will need 8 ounces or 1 cup of seasoned sushi rice vinegar. Now that we've taken our rice out, we're gonna use our rice paddle to move around and let a little of the extra steam escape before we season it with our sushi rice vinegar. So here I have a half cup measuring. We're gonna do 1 ounce for each cooked cup. We have 8 cups in here. You're gonna take your paddle and you're gonna pour it on your paddle so it spreads out nicely. And we're gonna repeat this one more time. When you add your rice vinegar, you wanna fluff your rice, rotate your bowl so that each kernel gets an appropriate amount and equally coated with the sushi rice vinegar. A quick tip for using a rice paddle is going slightly diagonal, cutting through the rice, and this actually helps it not break up all the kernels, so you get nice whole kernels which give you a very nice texture in your mouth. And rotate the bowl slightly. Your rice at this point should also be glossy from the sugar in the rice vinegar. Now we're ready to assemble our sushi. We have our beautiful rice cooked. Now we have our ingredients. I have some mangoes, some julienne cucumbers, shiso leaves, avocado slices, and kani crab meat. You will need a wooden rolling mat, cover it in saran wrap, a sharp knife, a bowl of water, and your nori. The nori sheets we're using is a full sheet, shiny side down. You want the rugged end up so that the rice is able to spread on and kind of become one cohesive mat of rice into the center. At this point, since we have nice, wet, moist hands, we're able to spread the sushi rice evenly, and we're able to get a nice uniform layer so that we have a consistent roll, and when we cut it, everything looks super soigné. If the rice starts sticking to your hands, you could always wet them a little bit more. And you just want to spread this nicely to have one nice even layer. And once you've done that, we're able to go to the next step. Once you have a nice even layer of rice, we're going to sprinkle it with roasted sesame seeds. At this point, we're going to flip it to do an inside out roll. Don't be scared. Just give it a nice flip. And now we're going to make a little invisible line right here where we're going to put all our ingredients in. If the rice sticks to your fingers, don't worry, just dip your hands in a little water and it comes right off. The best part, we're adding all the fillings, all the good stuff. We have our rice, we have our foundation. We're gonna add some mango, juliennes, large juliennes, nice fine julienne of cucumbers. Gonna add a little bit shiso leaf that we're gonna fold up nicely. It's gonna give a nice herbaceous crunch. Couple avocado slices. And you do want to keep this really, really tight. This will help everything look super nice inside. These crab sticks have a little foil package on them. Just break it in half. Let's add a little more. Be very generous with this roll. And boom. Get everything really, really tight. And now we're ready to roll. So the key aspect to rolling is just making sure that you're using the mat to your advantage. You're gonna go over your ingredients completely, push a little bit back, get everything nice and tight, and then we're gonna roll over and roll over and roll over and roll over and roll over, and we're ready. Now we're gonna give it a nice squeeze, uniform squeeze. Come back here. We're gonna do nice little push in of all the ingredients so we're not leaving any of the friends behind. And voila, we have our sushi roll. Now that we have our sushi roll, we're ready to slice. I highly recommend getting a nice slicer knife or a Japanese knife that's super sharp, or going to your local sharpening place or knife store that will sharpen it for you. A little tip is always wetting the tip. So you're gonna dip it into your water container and you're gonna let it run all along the knife. Because there's sugar in the sushi rice vinegar, this will create resistance. The water will help it not stick to your knife. Now we're ready. We're gonna slice completely in half. and we're gonna go fast. Now that we have both sides, we're gonna line that up again. We're gonna wipe our knife off from any of the sugar rice vinegar mixture that is stuck on our knife. Dip the knife again in water. Get it going all the way through the knife. And we're gonna go again, right in half. Pull back, another wipe, another dip. Okay, slice again. Another wipe, another dip. Slice again. And now we're ready to enjoy our sushi roll. Now that we have our beautiful sushi sliced, we're gonna plate up our sushi. We're gonna put a nice little leaf of shiso here, nice little leaf of shiso here. We're gonna take our sushi roll and we're just gonna shingle them across. If you like any sauces, this would be the point to apply it. And there you have it. We have a beautiful shiso mango California roll that I present with you today. Enjoy, my friends, and share your learnings with your friends.